1 minute and counting.
Good afternoon. I'm Matthew Rash with IrRashonal Sports. This is the IrRashonal Sports talk show on Chicagoland Sports Radio. I'm Matt. I'm your host. I'm here with Luke Mendoza.
Mendez.
That's the second time I've done that.
I know. Hello, everybody.
Our tech man right here. Introduce yourself.
What's up? My name is Alex.
You did have all 6 bullets.
He was missing 2 and I found out 2.
He stole 2. You didn't find them. You had them all the time. You know.
Shut up.
You missed.
Anyways, you missed.
Sorry.
You missed. Okay, go ahead.
Anywho, I'm gonna let Luke introduce himself too, real quick.
Hello, everybody. My name is Luke Mendoza. We're gonna be with Matthew. He invited me on the show today. I'm very happy. First episode too. We're gonna be talking about a lot of basketball, football, and about the World Series as well. So let's jump right into that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you can find me on YouTube and Twitter, both at IrRashonal Sports. Rash is my last name, so change the irrational to Rash. Like Luke said, what we do here is we analyze sports, we talk about them, we discuss.
And debate.
So NBA season started a little over a week ago. So we got a ton of games. Every team has played, I think 3 or 4 now.
Are undefeated or?
Yeah, so we got 2 teams. One team that is left undefeated, and I think one team that is still winless. And the winless team is the Memphis Grizzlies, of course.
Wow, they really haven't won a game?
They haven't won a game yet.
Wow.
They're tanking. And Dallas is 4-0 still. They just beat the Bulls last night. So
They
another
get
surprise record to me, Miami is 1-4. Can you believe
What?
that? Yeah. And what's crazy about it too, Tyler Hero, he's been playing pretty well. Well, we know that Miami does this anyway because Jimmy Butler loves to disappear in the regular season and just magically make.
And then the postseason, you're like, oh yeah, let me shoot them threes, and oh my god, game winners, and yeah, that's.
Yeah, he reappears in the playoffs. He I don't know what he does, some magic appearances, but
Good old Jimmy.
he's got a lot going on. I don't blame him.
1-4.
1-4.
That's crazy.
I think Tyler scored 30 at least. I think he's taken the most shots in the league. If I'm
You
not
think he's
mistaken.
carrying that team right now?
Not carrying per se, but he's taken a step up. I was afraid that he was going to flatline, sort of plateau his skill set, but he's still continuing to make jumps, and I'm really happy for him.
That's good.
I think him and Bam make a great duo. So if Jimmy, I don't know, he's hinted at retirement a few times. If he does decide ultimately to retire, I think the future of the Miami Heat would be just fine in Tyler and Bam's hands, especially considering the Heat are one of the best teams at developing their own players. There are very few teams that do that nowadays, so it's really exciting, and it's really rare to see teams that develop their own players in all sports, not just basketball.
Right.
You see that with like Golden State. Golden State develops their own players. You see it with no other Chicago teams do it. The Bulls are terrible at it. Bears refuse to. It's just a real shame in Chicago sports.
It is. Yep. It's the same thing every year.
Yep.
You either win some or you lose some or you just lose it all.
Absolutely.
There's no such thing as winning it all in Chicago.
That's right.
It hasn't happened.
If we do win, it's pure luck and it's pure fluke.
It is. It really is. It's a sad thing. We're talking about, let's say, the only true team that actually was like, oh, we're winning it all, 2016 Cubs. That was it.
The Hawks actually kept the team together for a few years.
And they won. Well, then they went back to back, but they won a couple years separately.
13, 15.
10, 13, 15, exactly.
That was probably the best example you're gonna get of the Bulls keeping the Bulls keeping a roster together and consistently like trying to make pushes. Because even the double three-peat Bulls like dismantled Jerry Krause dismantled that team in '98, and he refused to have Phil back. And they, there's.
I feel like they would have won.
Yes, there's plenty of evidence to
suggest that he would. We're talking about another three-peat.
Yeah,
another three-peat. There's a guarantee.
That would have put a damper on Kobe and Shaq. It would have put a damper on the Pistons, the Spurs. So many other teams, if the Bulls stayed together, would have made a huge.
That would have been. It still is probably one of the greatest teams of all time.
Absolutely.
I would say.
Absolutely.
But we're talking about if they did keep him after 98, it is the greatest team of all time.
Absolutely.
There would have been no comparison whatsoever. Not even the Golden State Warriors when they were good in like 2015, 16. That team doesn't compare. Lakers when they had Shaq, Kobe, and when they had Paul Gasol as well. That doesn't compare either. I mean, it's just.
That's where we disagree. Golden State. I think Golden State does with Kevin Durant, with Andre Iguodala. I think they beat those Bulls.
I don't know.
I think
if we saw a matchup between those Bulls and then that Golden State Warriors team, it'd be like,
it would definitely be a competition just because the Bulls were so much further ahead in defense wise.
Right.
But who's gonna guard Steph? Ron Harper? He couldn't guard Steph for 48 minutes a game, especially with the marathon that Steph runs every single game.
Well, I mean, he just makes threes automatically. I don't know
Exactly.
if you can. Yeah.
Because obviously Michael could guard Clay. Rodman can guard KD to an extent. If KD decides to pop off, then
Right.
there's some questioning there. But Rodman can definitely suppress KD more than modern teams can, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, week 1. What? Week 1 is officially over. Week 2 is about to be over. As a matter of fact, we're about halfway through.
It's going fast.
And with that, I have a ton of notes to go through. I wrote down a lot, just going through games that I saw. I've tried to watch over 50% of all the games that have been on so far. And of those games, I try to at least watch a half of them. And that's when I feel I can get some adequate notes on that.
Right.
So what I did with that information is I put down 3 teams that I think disappointed expectation, bro. You lost one of them, did you?
No, it's right here. Okay, good. Keep going. Good.
What I did was I put 3 teams that I think disappointed last week, and 3 teams that I think exceeded the expectations that I originally had for them at the start of the season.
Let's hear it.
So, one team that I think disappointed me, and this is disappointed greatly, this one, are the Houston Rockets.
It's the same thing as last year.
Well, see...
They just added another... They just added another worst player to their team, Dylan Brooks. What was the point of getting
got
him?
Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson.
I mean, VanVleet, yeah, he's decent, but like...
He was the veteran leadership that I was hoping would push them over the edge and like at least help them, at least nudge them towards a playoff appearance.
I guess.
I know there's still work to do, but like they got what other veterans? They have Jeff Green, they have Reggie Bullock, and I was really disappointed in their overall leadership.
But it just takes one person just dismantle a team.
That's what I'm saying.
And there's a couple players on that team who just don't want to do anything.
Yeah, well,
and
that's what I was hoping the veteran leadership would do.
Obviously, Dylan Brooks is one of them.
Yeah.
He's
being a goofball over there. He's being pretty silly.
He's always been a goofball.
Yeah.
He was terrible when he was, what was his other, Memphis? He was Memphis, right? Yeah. He was the exact same.
He got
at Grizzlies.
He got a flagrant 2 in the first game of the preseason.
I know.
Fouled out,
and
he got kicked out in the
and he got kicked
5
out.
minutes of the game.
Terrible.
He's an interesting person. I'll say that. Interesting fella. But anywho, they're 1-4 right now. Which
I thought they were undefeated.
No.
Undefeated. I'm sorry. I thought they were winless.
No, that's Memphis.
Oh, there's Memphis.
You're mixing up Dylan Brooks.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, exactly. See, you see what he does to me?
Not me.
Jay.
You okay?
I'm about to fire our tech guy.
He be mad. It doesn't count.
No, I'm good.
That's payback.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever you say.
No,
If this is going to be the whole show where we have to constantly be on our guard, I'm terrified.
Hey, okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Our tech guy's a terrorist.
My bad.
Cut that out. Cut that one out.
We will. Don't
We're
worry.
19 floors up. By the
We
way.
will. We will.
So
We will. Okay.
So, Houston's 1-4. They lost to Orlando, San Antonio, Golden State, and one other team, and they beat Charlotte. Of all teams, they beat Charlotte. So what that tells me is they didn't improve at all from last season, at least IQ wise and cohesion wise.
Uh-huh.
That was the biggest note I had was their cohesion. I don't think they played together very well. I thought. Everyone was kind of playing for themselves. Everyone wanted to score for themselves. They weren't really running their offense, which is a shame to see, too, because Ime Udoka, I had high hopes for him. He was another guy that I thought was going to push him over the edge just because of his coaching maturity.
Uh-huh.
And I thought getting him from Boston was like a steal because I thought Boston kind of let go. Now, Missoula's doing fine, but
Uh-huh.
I really liked Ime Udoka. But yeah, the main point I had on Houston though was their cohesion. I just feel like they weren't playing together as well as they should be, because they're not necessarily playing bad, right? They're just not playing together, which is a shame.
I mean, I thought you were right. See, bro, you got me scared. You got me scared. Okay. Some of these NBA teams, some expectations are. It's like weird. At the first 2 weeks, it's already getting weird. You know what I mean? Because some of these teams who should be still undefeated are not, and they're losing to like bad teams that are bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. There are some.
It's weird because
Miami's at the bottom of the East.
Exactly. Like,
Memphis,
what is that?
Memphis is at the bottom of the West.
What is that? If you were to look back at last year, it would have been like, wow, look at that.
Yeah, it is a bit different. We're starting to see, like, right now it's still early in the season.
It is.
That's why everything right now is just sort of observations. They're not really, like, criticisms or anything like that.
Right.
This point, like this week right now, going into week 3, is where we're going to finally start to see teams start to fluctuate in wins. Because right now, everyone's from 4-1. That's not, like, a huge data.
Yeah, you're right.
So there's a lot to there's still a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
We got Dallas and Golden State, Denver at the top of the West, which I have a lot to say about Dallas. I didn't think they were going to do well this year, and I'll explain why. Because
they didn't do that well last year. They didn't even make it.
Yeah, they tanked last year. After they got Kyrie, they lost, I think, 10 of their last 12 games, and
it's like you get that one player, and then you like, okay, he's an add-on to our team. We're gonna get more wins, and you just you deplete. You just.
It was weird. It was weird seeing them not even, because it didn't even look like they wanted to be there. They could have made the playoffs. They had a playoff spot. All they had to do was
keep winning.
Yeah, was win.
Score
they
points.
Didn't have to win out or anything. They didn't have to go crazy. They just had to split 50-50. And they couldn't do that. This year though, I like the Luka and Derek Lively connection.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a good rookie for them. He allows Luka to work the way Luka does, but he also is a good traditional big, in the sense that he can pick and roll. He can roll to the basket. He's good. He's strong down low. He's big. He's able to overpower some of the other bigs. And overall, he catches good lobs. Like, Luka's encouraged to pass the ball to him, whereas before, who was it? It was like Dwight Powell, Max Kleber. They're not really guys that you can lob the ball to all the time.
Right.
So, having Derek Lively as a fresh face is refreshing for Luka, and I'm sure Luka likes that.
Right.
He had a 49-point triple-double against Brooklyn. That was huge for him. I think they're taking. So I have here on my on my sheet. Jason Kidd took out Derek Lively in the second half of that game because they wanted to run a small ball lineup. I don't agree with that, even though Luka had 49. But I think Luka works better when he has a big to play off of, because yes, he's one of the best ISO players in the league, but everyone plays better if they have like a big to work off of. If they have another player to bounce their game off of, and that I think Derek Lively does that perfectly for Luka. And in terms of Kyrie, he's not doing as well as I want him to. In terms of touching the ball, he could be doing so much more. He could be handling the ball a lot more. But also, him handling the ball could allow Luka to take more of an off-ball sprinter role like Steph does.
Okay.
You see Steph every single game. He runs a marathon. He's running baseline to baseline. He's running all around the arc. He's running through elevator screens, all these types of plays for Steph Curry off ball, and it works for Steph because he's good at it.
Exactly.
And more players need to take on that like play style.
Uh-huh.
I think Luka would be good at that because he has one of the best ball handlers in the world in NBA history on his team in Kyrie. So I don't know why he should be encouraged to move off ball more because having Kyrie as an off ball mover isn't nearly as good as having Luka as an off ball mover. But yeah, essentially I was wrong about Dallas. At least right now I am. Mm-hmm. They're still undefeated. They're still really good, and I vastly underestimated their potential this year because of I just thought Luka would be kind of a ball hog and he would.
It's also kind of still it's still a little bit early to tell.
Oh yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
They can tomorrow. They can. Do they play tomorrow?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, if they do, say they lose tomorrow. You don't know how that can affect the team in a way.
They play Denver tomorrow.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yep. That's gonna be a good game right there, guys.
Denver just lost big too.
Wow.
Let me find them. Oh, I don't have them on here.
So, say they lose to Denver tomorrow, right? They lose to them, and you don't know how that's gonna.
It could flip morale depending on how
the
bad.
Team. Yeah. If that affects a team and are in a very bad way, and then they just go and lose 3 more.
That's a huge.
That pretty much shows what the Dallas Mavericks are the rest of the year.
That's a momentum shift for sure.
You're totally right. Give it 3 weeks, 3 weeks, so next week, and you'll fully see how these teams are going to be the rest of the year. They're either going to progress or not progress at all.
Because this is a potential playoff matchup too. Because if Denver does end up winning the West, which I think they will, and Dallas falls off a little bit and finishes around 6 seed-ish, 5-6, they could very well end up playing Denver, and they're gonna because Denver's a decent defensive team.
Will they lose to Denver if they make the playoffs though?
Yes,
obviously.
Dallas, I just think Denver has the most defensive longevity. Mm-hmm. They're just so good. Yeah. It doesn't really matter what aspect of their game.
But I feel like last year when they won, for some reason I feel like there was that much hype that the Denver Nuggets won the championship.
Well, yeah, because ESPN doesn't want that matchup. They wanted Los Angeles, Miami, or not Miami, Boston. They wanted Celtics, Lakers because that's the narrative they want to push. But I was happy. I wasn't happy with how Miami played, but that's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
Especially when Jimmy does all that he does, it's only natural.
He carried that team.
Yeah.
Jordan Love. Sure, he was.
Jordan Love.
Jordan. Oh, it said Jordan Love. My bad. Kevin Love. Sorry, Kevin Love.
He's old. You can't expect much.
Yeah,
from him
he needs to retire. I don't know why he's still.
I agree.
I don't know why he's still in the league. He needs to go.
He just.
I would say this is his final year. It should be.
That's fair to say.
It really should be.
Especially if they make a decent playoff run, that's fair to say. But yeah, they didn't have Tyler. Bam didn't play to the best of his ability. Jimmy had to pretty much pick up the slack.
Adebayo?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the finals, and even Jimmy didn't play to the best of his ability, but he did what he could. So.
They just choked. They really did.
They had to play Denver. Denver's the best team in the league still. Denver's the best team in the world still. But yeah, to my point about them playing Dallas, they're 7th in the league in defensive efficiency. So they're essentially the 7th best defensive team in the league, and that having to go against that when your primary scorer is a primary scorer.
Right.
He is the epitome of a primary scorer. Everyone else, I mean, you can't. It's just tough to have a one-man show, to run a one-man show against a top 10 defense in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this a lot. I've said this for a long time that it's hard to sustain offensive power when you're a one-man show, and we saw that with Russell Westbrook never winning in Oklahoma City by himself. We saw that with Dame never winning in Portland by himself. And we saw it with James Harden in Houston by himself.
Right.
I just think that players like that it's not a sustainable winning culture. And I thought this is what I thought with Denver. I thought he was just going to be another one of those guys. He's going to win MVP once or twice. He's going to average a 30-point triple-double. Yeah, that's cool, but he's not going to win anything.
Right.
So, I don't know. I don't know what to think of them because they subverted my expectations already at the start of this season, and they still have a lot more to prove. So I'm not 100% convinced yet, but I will say I was wrong about them, and they have surprised me to start the season.
We also got some news about last week also that James Harden's a Clipper.
Oh yeah.
Let me
go to the bottom of my sheet here where that is, because that.
I mean, is there like a big talk about that? What are we talking about that?
What do you mean? Like, history repeats itself. That's all I see with that.
Really? That's it?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not going to be. I mean, he's with Russell Westbrook. You got PG-13 as well, and Kawhi Leonard. Last year,
upcoming rising star Terrence.
Last year, both of them got hurt. They went back and forth getting hurt. Literally, they barely played a game last year, and now you want to add Russell Westbrook, and now you want to add James Harden. It will be the same thing as last year. There's not going to be any progression whatsoever because Russell he's out of his prime. He's been out of it for like at least a little while. Kawhi Leonard is also not producing anything, getting injured pretty much almost all the time. The same exact thing with PG-13. It's all the same. It really is all the same. It's going to repeat itself. Because at the end of the year, he's going to want to, hey, I'm out of here. Bye. I'm going to go to a different team now and see if this is where I want to be. Because I remember when he went to the 76ers, he's like, I want to be here.
He said he was there for the winning culture.
Exactly.
Not the case.
Exactly. Apparently not.
Yeah. So I agree with you that nothing's really going to change in his career.
Uh-huh.
He's still going to be trying to escape the conference finals if they make it that far. But this is literally another reason I say that this is going to be a similar season is because it'll be a similar season for James Harden because the Brooklyn Nets with him, Kyrie, and KD only played like 14 games, I'm pretty sure. They didn't play that many games together because none of them were healthy. And they were together for a season and a half. Embiid and Harden were together for... It might have been a full season at this point. Mm-hmm. But Embiid and Harden were together for a full season, and we all know how that turned out. They didn't even meet expectations. He showed flashes each time with those teams. He showed that he can be a good point guard. He showed that he can take a back seat. But then he reverts back to his old ways and doesn't necessarily want to be a team player all the time and be selfish and want to leave the team.
Uh-huh.
So I just think that's going to happen again. That's as plainly as I can put it. There's not really much else to say other than I like them getting Russell Westbrook. I think the Lakers use Westbrook terribly.
Mm-hmm. They do, yeah.
They wanted him to be what he was in Oklahoma City.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. He can be a good role point guard. He can be a good. He could be like a Tyrese Maxey, like the Sixers have. He can be a good ball handling point guard. He can be a Chris Paul, passing wise, but he's not going to be the 25 a night scorer that we saw in Oklahoma City.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say about the Clippers, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same thing as last year.
History will repeat itself.
Yep,
That's all.
yep. Back to the Mavs real quick. They went against the Bulls last night. That game didn't turn out good. I feel like both of them played not that good. They were literally going back and forth. Again, with scoring wise, like they would score, then we would score. They would miss, we would miss. Do you mind? Thank you.
That one, oh no, it's right.
They would. My fault. They would.
I'm just switching.
Okay. They would miss, we would miss. We score, they score. We get a foul, they get a foul. We get a foul. It's the same. It was really a back and forth game, and the fact that Dallas came on top is because we couldn't guard the three. We couldn't guard the threes.
Yeah.
The Bulls cannot guard threes. Anybody who is on the arc, behind the arc, you cannot block them. They're gonna make the three, but neither of them couldn't make a three last night. Very rarely, because they were missing and we were missing as well. But I feel like the Bulls missed way more. The only close to a good 3-point shooter we have is Levine, obviously, but he's not.
Kobe can step it up.
He could. I mean, he has his moments. Like
Patrick Williams could step it up.
He didn't get the ball at all yesterday.
Yeah, we don't.
Barely. I don't
That's
know why.
The problem, man. We get on Patrick saying he's not good enough. He needs to shoot the ball more. We don't give him the ball.
Exactly.
We delegate him to the corner and tell him to sit there while DeMar backs his guy down from the 3-point arc.
I mean, where do we see the Bulls this year? Like,
we're 2-3 right now.
Right. Yep.
We're
Who we go against next?
That's a good question. I have no idea. Let's see.
Because depends who we go against next. We have a good chance depends who it is. If we have a good chance,
We got Brooklyn tomorrow.
And that's.
I don't know, man.
What's the record?
Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Let's see. I had them doing. I like their guys. I thought that was a decent trade, Kevin Durant, just because it made them happy and it got KD out, and it was a good trade. They're 2-2 right now, so they're like pretty much the same spot as.
Okay.
They have one. The only reason they're 4th in the East right now, but the only reason is because everyone is still
Exactly. It's up in the air.
close together.
So
half the East has 6 wins.
do we see the Bulls advancing this year, or
Advancing?
like
No.
we're talking about? No, not at all.
They see. I said the Mavs would get 30 wins. I don't think, and like obviously they're sort of proving me wrong right now. I don't think the Bulls are gonna get 35 wins. I think because they didn't improve from last year. That's like my main criteria in predicting or judging if a team is gonna improve or not. Is did their roster improve? And it didn't. We lost Patrick Beverley. We lost Derek Jones Jr. And all we did was gain Torrey Craig and Javon Carter, which are good guys.
They're actually pretty decent.
They're not. It's not an improvement. It's not a vast improvement. It's not like Porzingis or getting Drew Holiday or getting Damian Lillard. It's not like that. So that's why I judge the situation as we're staying the same or we're getting worse. That's how I see it.
Okay. So, no playoffs. Not a shot.
We'll be lucky. Because last year we couldn't beat the Heat, but I think we only lost the Heat in the play-in tournament by 4 or something. So, draw your own conclusions from there. The Bulls would have made the finals if they beat Miami because Miami made the final.
You don't think so?
No, we would have lost the first round. I don't know. Who did they play in the first round?
I don't remember.
But they would have lost no matter what.
It's not the Celtics. I think it was the Bucks.
In the first round, it might have been actually.
I think it was because then again, wasn't Giannis hurt again when they went against the Miami?
I thought.
Or was it? It was Middleton.
I think it was.
It was Middleton, right?
Hang on, I'm pulling it up. Yeah, it was the Bucks. I'm sure one of them got injured. I just don't remember who because it switches on and off every year. I remember when the Bulls played the Bucks in the first round, it was
Middleton.
It was Middleton. So I don't know. It switched off. It might have been Middleton though, because I think he had like that lingering hamstring thing. I think that's what I remember. That's a shot in the dark. But yeah, I still don't think we could have beat them, because if the Bulls couldn't beat them with Chris Middleton, they wouldn't have beat them without Giannis or Chris Middleton.
Right.
So
Okay.
It's just a confusing.
Yeah.
And it's the Bulls too.
Yeah, the Bulls don't. They surprise us like, oh my gosh,
No
we're
interior.
in the playoffs. Can't wait. And then, we play, and we're just like.
I think the only reason we made the playoffs last year was because we had health in the first half of the season.
I mean, we made the playoffs 2 years in a row. So, would it be surprising if we made it again this year?
Yes.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I mean.
We missed it last year.
No, we didn't. Well, we were in the play-in tournament.
I don't count that as the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't count that as playoffs.
Okay. Well, we were close. We were like, this close. But
4 points away.
we sold. Yeah.
Because we beat Toronto in the first round of the play-in, lost to Miami in the second.
Yeah, we sold. I can't believe it.
Another problem I have with the Bulls is Billy Donovan refuses to adjust no matter how bad they're doing.
Uh-huh.
The Bulls are completely stagnant on offense. We still run that same, pick and roll. The other three guys just get banished to the corners. We still run that, but we don't run it effectively. We run it the same way we've been doing since the 2000s. It's not an innovative offense in any way. Billy Donovan isn't structuring this in any new way that's going to surprise offenses. He's doing the same exact thing that NBA team.
I feel like he thinks because that team will. He thinks this team now, if we just. Because he's like, oh, we made it to the playoffs in 21. And last year we made it to the play and we almost made it. I'm pretty sure he's thinking that, oh, this year, if we just keep using the same people, they'll get better and better and we'll make it finally. But apparently that's not the case.
It's not
the case at all. But I don't know what he thinks. I would just, obviously, in my opinion, what he thinks. But whatever he's trying to do, it's currently not working right now. And I don't think it will work ever. We'll get lucky if we actually make it. Oh, this year again, which is, you stand corrected. It would surprise me as well.
Yeah, he just has to adjust, and he's not adjusting.
Yeah.
Which
I'm pretty sure he'll find that out this year or not, whether he wants to actually get rid of people or actually keep them again.
I don't think the Bulls need to blow it up, but I don't know, because the GM and president are still relatively new.
Uh-huh.
They've still been here for I think it's 5 years actually this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how willing they are to just blow something up if they know it's not working. But this year, just the way they talk in press conferences and stuff, I still think they believe in the team.
Right.
Which is a bad thing, because I don't believe in this team.
I
think we need to blow it up totally. Everyone needs to go.
Everybody?
Everybody.
Everybody. So you're talking get a whole new roster.
Yeah, we need to pull. What? It's still record. Yeah, it's still recording. It's just the thing.
We good?
It might just be because it's going for so long, but yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. We need to pull a Oklahoma City Thunder and just try to stock up on as many future draft picks as possible.
Yeah.
Because the Thunder still have a ridiculous amount of picks. And look at them now. We saw a huge improvement from last year. They seem much more mature.
Mm-hmm.
They seem like they actually have something to prove. They seem much more cohesive. I already said mature. They just look like everything is finally coming together. And, having Chet is such a privilege. SGA is entering. Which is a fun toy to play with when you're a point guard. Having SGA is entering his MVP personality era.
Oh, Shy?
Yeah.
Junior,
yeah. You can't really go wrong. Josh Giddey, Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, all these guys, having these guys on the wings or cutting or even ball handling, you can trust a lot of them.
Right.
it's a real privilege to have all these guys, and they're not done yet because they have a ton more picks. They have a ton more. They can make moves. It's just looking. Those are one of the teams where you look in the future, and you're like, they have a bright future. The Bulls, you don't see that.
Do you think that they'll do it soon?
Blow it up, the Bulls.
Yes.
I hope so. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't.
But who will we pick up though for these people?
Picks, just picks.
Draft picks?
We can take whoever we want as a player.
Like draft picks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what the Thunder did. They took when they traded Westbrook, when they got rid of Westbrook, Steven Adams, all these guys, when they blew up that core because they realized that Westbrook wasn't single-handedly getting into a championship, and they weren't going to get another star that worked well with Westbrook when he was in his prime like that.
Yeah.
They blew it up, and they I don't know, maybe they realized it too late. I don't know, but they actually had hope. They were actually making it to Eastern Conference Finals appearances. We're not doing that. And we say we have championship aspirations with this roster, but we're not even getting close to where the Thunder were getting with Russell Westbrook. And the Thunder were smart enough to blow it up and accumulate as many picks as possible. I think that's the way we should go. Yeah.
Alrighty.
That's what we got to do.
Alrighty. Well, let's hope for the best this year. I say that hopefully we get something going. Yes or no? Maybe so. It's up in the air.
Playing wise, no.
No.
Like improvement wise, win wise, no.
No.
My bad, bro.
No.
My fault.
No hope.
Okay, no hope. I got you.
No hope.
Quiet down, tech guy.
Yeah, we're
All right.
none of that. Enough of that.
Everyone in the
All right, guys.
Why am I doing this? They've been bullying me all day.
We're paying him $35 an hour.
They're not paying me shit.
All right, guys. We're gonna get to World Series talk. What happened yesterday? And,
Baseball.
I watched the game. I know a lot more than baseball about this guy than this guy right here.
Yeah, that's true.
It's okay. So I wrote down some things. So might surprise you or not. I watched the game. I hope you find this interesting, Matthew. We'll see. So Zach Gallen is was the starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks yesterday. He was throwing a pretty much almost a no-hitter. You know, no-hitter.
Yeah.
Almost
I
a
heard about
no-hitter in the first six innings. Bro was throwing gas. He was throwing absolutely crazy pitches. They couldn't hit it. If they did hit it, it will go to a ground or be popped up and someone will catch it. But until the top of the seventh, he gave his first hit to the Rangers in the top of the seventh to Corey Seager, and he doesn't get the no-hitter. Then after Corey Seager hits, Evan Carter hits. Then after Evan Carter hit, Mitch Garver hit and got an RBI single and let the Rangers lead the game 1-0 in the seventh. Then they took Zach Gallen out. He ended his night with 6.1 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Okay. Then the pitcher for the Rangers, Nathan Eovaldi, he pitched 6 innings. He had 4 hits, 5 walks, and 5 strikeouts. The Diamondbacks yesterday were actually hitting off the Rangers, but they couldn't score. They were getting on base, but could not score. They couldn't finish. They had bases loaded at one point with only 1 out, and they couldn't get out of it. They couldn't score. Okay.
I was trying to put on that game in between basketball, in between commercials or whatever, and that's exactly what I saw. I just saw complete domination by the Rangers.
Mm-hmm. Then it was 1-0. 7th inning, I'm like, oh my God, close game. Crazy. Then the Rangers, all of a sudden, top of the ninth, just started hitting. Just miracles happened. They scored 2 more runs in the 9th inning. I forget by who, but they scored 2 more runs. Then, after all that, a person on third, Marcus Semien up to bat, cracks it all the way to right center and hits a 2-run homer and gives the Rangers the lead 5-0 on top of the 9th inning. And I got a story to go with this at the end after I'm done talking. It's a crazy
It's a good story.
It's a pretty good story. The Rangers win the World Series in Game 5 against the Diamondbacks 5-0. 5-0. It was their first win in franchise history. They've been in the league for 63 years, and it's their first win. My bad, bro.
Yeah, baseball.
Hadn't they not made the playoffs for a long time too?
They have. The last time they went to the playoffs was when they went against the Cardinals in like 2011, I think.
Wow.
Something like that. And they lost. And here's the funny bet that went with this, guys. So I hope you guys are home. Y'all about to hear something crazy. So before the World Series started, I have a cousin who is a Diamondbacks fan. Okay. Couple days before the World Series started, I posted on Instagram saying, "Oh, this is going to be a boring World Series. The Texas Rangers are going to win in 5 games. So take them 5 games to win the World Series." He wanted to bet me, or I betted him per se. I said you that, the Rangers will win in Game 5 of the World Series, win the whole thing. He says to me, if the Diamondbacks push past Game 5 or win it all, I would have to clean his Mercedes car, which is a pretty nice car, and his Chevy truck, inside and out. And he said, if I win, I get to take his Mercedes for a night and go on a date with my girlfriend, and he gives me $50 to pay for their dinner. And guess who won? Me! I'm just too good at predicting these things. But yeah, that's your World Series. Baseball is now over. It is now in the off season, so big things are going to happen during the off season, possibly. I want to talk about the Cubs real quick right now.
Yep.
But yeah, World Series, Rangers win 4-1. It was a really, really good series. It was, I wouldn't say it was that boring, but I'm very happy for the Rangers. I'm glad they finally won. They totally deserve it. Adolis Garcia deserves it. Corey Seager deserves it. Max Scherzer deserves it. They all deserve it. Everybody. Very good team. Can't wait for next season. But I'll get back to the offseason real quick.
Had Max Scherzer won before that?
He won with the Nationals in 2019.
That's what I thought. I thought it was the Nationals. I just didn't remember one.
Yeah, in 2019 with the Nationals. Okay.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about the Cubs. So, Cody Bellinger is now a free agent, and Cubs fans want to... You're aiming it right at me, bro. I'm scared.
I'm not pointing at him, see?
Okay, my bad. So, Cubs fans are one... Yeah, I can see you in the corner of my eye, dog. Wait. Cubs fans are wondering if Cody Bellinger is going to stay or leave this season, and what is the Cubs roster going to look like next year as well?
My 2 cents. He has nothing to gain from leaving unless he's going to go leech off another team.
Because this man played like a star.
Yeah.
This year.
He played the best since his injury.
Since he was with the Dodgers, I think.
Yeah.
This has been one of his best years, guaranteed. And it really made me happy. It surprised me. It's sad that the Cubs didn't make it to the postseason. They just couldn't hold. They just choked at the end. They couldn't win against the good teams, and it sucks.
Who was above them? Were the Brewers?
It was the Brewers and
Marlins.
Yeah, it was Brewers, Marlins, Reds. The Reds. No. Yeah, it was Brewers. Yeah, the Brewers, Marlins, and the Diamondbacks.
That's like that mirrors the NBA because the Bulls had Miami to compete with.
Exactly.
And they lost.
But they just couldn't hang on. It's very, very sad.
Yup.
But I don't know what's gonna happen next year. We have good talent on this team. Very good talent. Seiya Suzuki, literally August, September, he just hit. He was just hitting nonstop.
Yeah.
Hitting nonstop. He just stepped up. They put him on the bench for like almost a week, I think, almost, because he wasn't doing good. And then after that, just starts cracking him.
Back to his former.
Yeah, 100%.
See, yeah.
Seiya was doing good. We got two amazing Gold Glovers, Dansby Swanson and Nico Horner. Second baseman and shortstop, they're unstoppable. They cannot let a ball get past them. They're good, very good infielders.
Great Wall of China infield.
Exactly, 100%. And then you got in right field, you got Ian Happ, left field Seiya, and then center field Cody Bellinger or Pete Crow Armstrong. I mean, this team really, it surprised me this year how well they did and how good of a hitting team they really were. I mean, I hope that the roster stays the same. I hope they sign Cody Bellinger to a contract and let him stay. And just they should keep the same roster as last year. I don't think they should gain or lose anybody.
Because I just remember at the trade deadline they were talking about should the Cubs buy or sell, and everyone was saying sell. And because I wasn't really acquainted with the roster that well at the deadline, I didn't know whether they should, or I didn't have an opinion. I just saw a lot of people saying sell. They didn't sell. People were mad about that, and look what ended up happening. They ended up playing out of their minds.
They did after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
After the All-Star break, all hell broke loose against on the the Cubs. Pretty much any team the Cubs played against after All-Star break, they were just hitting out of their minds. Yeah. And
they didn't get swept until the last month of the season.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly, they did. Exactly. They were the top winning. They were one of the top winning teams after the All-Star break. I think they won almost 40 games after the All-Star break. But they still didn't make it. And it's very sad. But this team should stay. They should keep the veteran Yan Gomes, clutch hitter. We're down. He's the one that hits to save the day. I don't know a lot about Patrick Wisdom though.
I think he did great when he needed to.
I think so, but that's why they have him as on the bench and not in the starting lineup as a lot anymore, because he's one of those hitters like Yan Gomes. If they need you, they'll put you in just as for reassurance. Yeah. I would say they have a lot of talent on their team. I'm very happy for this team. They gotta keep it going, but they have to compete with the other good teams.
Yeah, they might be the only Chicago sports team I wouldn't be upset with them running it back with.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
The only roster. Bears, I'd be upset with them running it back after this year. Bulls,
we're gonna talk about that
upset
next.
with them running it back. Hawks, they didn't run it back. They actually switched things up. And Sox, I don't even care.
They hit the restart button.
Yeah.
The White Sox hit the restart button. They're they hit the reset and restart.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a couple years for the White Sox, but the Cubs are on top of their game. They need to keep staying on top of their game. I would say keep David Ross this next season.
He's a flexible coach.
He is.
He's not really an imposing dictatorial. I don't know what the word.
Dictatorial?
Yeah.
I guess.
He doesn't run a dictatorship.
Yeah.
He runs a very lenient, player-centric roster, and that's what I like about him. He reminds me of Steve Kerr with the Warriors. He allows his team to, if they're winning, he's gonna give into that. He's not gonna change things. If things are going right, he's not going to make them about him and doing it his way. He's going to build off of what the player's strengths are and not try to impose artificial strengths that aren't really there. That's what I like about him.
Exactly. I mean, I'm seeing good things with this team, and they got to keep it. They got to keep it going. They got to stay strong, keep progressing.
Yes,
and I think eventually they would make the playoffs and make a good run. They just got to stay on their game, and they can't lose by one run or errors or they have to just keep hitting as they did this year and just make it 10 times better.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to play out of your mind in baseball. You have to try your hardest And what? Oh, one more thing. I feel offense and defense is good, but the pitching just worries me just a little bit. Justin Steele was pretty good, but I feel like he had some games where he wasn't that focused, and I think it goes for the same thing as Kyle Hendricks as well. Kyle Hendricks has been with us since 2016. He's the only Cub left from that World Series team. And, well, actually, Jamer Carolina's back. He was on that team, too.
I
brought him back.
I thought he was signed for multiple years anyway.
Yeah, and they brought him back.
Yeah.
But who stayed and didn't leave and come back was Kyle Hendricks. He's the only person that has stayed with us since that time. Still, and I hope next year he does pretty good. It might be his final year. I'm pretty sure. I would guarantee that he will retire after that.
It's fair to say. That's
it
like
it really
Love.
is.
Kevin Love. That's fair to say.
It really is. Who was our our closer's name? Aber Alzolay. There you go. Aber Alzolay had hell of a good time saving the games when throwing good pitches and stuff. But then he fell in a slump. But I feel like he can get back on top of that. I think he could. I would say 80 wins next year. 70, 80.
That's fair.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, as
Playoffs.
long as I think they might have exhausted themselves a little too much in the regular season, which even if they would have made the playoffs, I feel like they ran out of energy towards the end.
Right.
Which, even if they would have made the playoffs, it wouldn't have resulted in a good performance in the playoffs because they were already exhausted. So if they can find a way to conserve energy while still staying in the playoff race, then we'll see good things from them.
I hope so. I really hope so. Now on to our last segment.
Oh, yeah.
The Bears.
I don't want to talk about the Bears.
Why? They got a good defense.
I give up.
A defense person. A defensive end. Montez Sweat. And we are hoping that helps the secondary a lot and helps our defense stay on the game and put more pressure on the quarterback and get more sacks, because our defense is kind of horrendous. Our offense is kind of horrendous. Our quarterback situation is horrendous. Our quarterback, because what happened against the Chargers on Sunday night was horrendous. They couldn't stop the run. They let Austin Eckler, get a touchdown. I think two. They couldn't stop, receivers getting the ball. It was just a roller coaster. They couldn't stop anything. They couldn't get pass rush. They couldn't, make the quarterback fumble or gets, they barely sacked. I don't think they sacked them at all that game. Justin Herbert, I don't think so.
Surprise me.
It doesn't. Yeah. Defense needs to wake up. The offense also needs to wake up. Tyler Bagent had a terrible game. He threw 2 picks, I think 2 or 3. It's, and Joseph Fields is out. Tyler Bagent is still gonna play against the New Orleans Saints this Sunday. I don't know how he's gonna do. The Saints are, what record are the Saints right now? Let me see. Hold on 1 second.
I don't think they're going to beat him anyway.
The Saints are. 1 second. They're 4-4. They're 500, and while the Bears are 2-6.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen Sunday?
I mean,
you think Tyler Bagent's going to play out his mind, or
a lot of it? I've said this. A lot of the season, a lot of it is still in the coaching. They have to call plays that are gonna actually give us a chance. They've been the entire season so far. They've been like they've been unnecessarily, unbelievably conservative in their play calling when they absolutely don't need to be.
Exactly.
They
need to wake up. Eberflus needs to do better play calling. He does too many shotgun plays. Too many shotgun. He needs more. He needs to do more play action, and give him. The offense needs to give the quarterback time to look and throw the ball.
Yeah.
Because every time we play shotgun, the quarterback gets the ball, he is a second to look for somebody, or they're going to either run it, give it to Deontay Foreman, and let him run. Because the offense cannot hold anyone.
Yeah.
They can't hold anyone.
Luke Getsy needs to go at OC. I don't like him anymore. I never liked him from the start. Actually, him and ever since Nagy, they just keep running the same offense. It's similar to the Bulls. They keep running stagnant offenses that don't lead anywhere. They don't take any risks. They don't try to be progressive in any way. They don't try to match their opponent. They always play down to their opponent. So if they're playing a good team, then they're going to try to compete with a good team, but they're not going to over exceed or anything. But if they play a bad team, they're going to play down to the level of that bad team.
Exactly.
And it's not going to put them over the edge.
But with Montez Sweat now on our team, will the defense come together now? Will there be more will there be more pressure?
Yeah.
It's
an improvement, but it's not a long-term fix.
Exactly.
It's a Band-Aid over a bullet hole. It's a Band-Aid over a machete gash. It's just to hold it for a minute. Yeah. It's like for like a little while, and then it's just going to bleed out again. It's temporary fixes.
Exactly. But we need permanent.
Exactly.
Permanent fixes.
That's getting
not temporary. If you get a guy like Montez Sweat, you better sign him to a contract while he's still here. Yeah. Before he's like, okay, I played my part. Bye. Have a good day. He's got to want to stay. And they signed him because they're trying to get our hope. They're trying to win and get our hopes up. But it's the same thing for Montez Sweat. If he doesn't see, what our team, if he doesn't see how our team actually is, like if he sees, oh wow, we're losing by this much and our offense can't do anything, and the defense is always out there the defense is always out there all the time because we can't.
That's how the Bears always are, though.
Huh?
The Bears' defense is always out on the field.
I know. And it's crazy. So, Montez Sweat is trying to improve this team. And if he doesn't see improvement, he's not going to want to stay. Because he wants to be he wants to be on a team that is already improved and is already winning games.
That's what half our roster is realizing right now. They're realizing that this isn't a good team
and
they want to leave.
Exactly. Like Jalen Johnson, he wants to go. He had 2 picks 2 weeks ago, and he's like, I'm out of here. I want to go. I want to get traded. Yeah. Why?
He realized that he's worth much more, and he can.
But he's not going to get that. He's not going to get the trade. Yeah. He's not going to get traded.
The deadline's already over.
It's too late. It is too late.
Yeah, I'm just exhausted about talking about the Bears because there's no real improvements.
Everybody's like, oh, we're looking forward to the draft. Caleb Williams and what's the wide receiver's name?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna get them.
We had high hopes about this roster. We had high hopes about DJ Moore and Justin Fields. It's a never-ending loop. It's like
it was the same thing as when we got Justin. Oh my God, Justin Fields. He's our
management. It has to be the management.
It is management. It is management.
All coaching staff scrap them. All front office scrap them. I think Ryan Poles is decent. He's making the right moves. I just don't know if his intentions are the best.
Exactly.
But
it is management. It's all management. They can't get anybody that would actually progress this team in winning over 6 games at least 7.
Yeah.
And it's terrible. It's very terrible. It's very sad to watch because there's no hope for this team this year. We're lucky to win at least 4 this year. And we were terrible than last year, if that's even fair to say. Even though we only won 3 games last year, we at least put up a fight with against the teams. We only lost by like a touchdown or so every game last year.
And we beat San Francisco too, dude.
Exactly. We beat San Fran and we beat the freaking New England Patriots last year.
That's what the Bulls did too. They beat the good teams and lost to the bad teams.
Why?
Understand what they're
That doesn't make. That makes no sense at all. Yeah. And I hope for the best. I hope that next year, next year's gonna be our year. Same old. Exactly. It won't be. It's the same old shit. It's the same old shit. And I don't know if there'll be a change if we got Caleb Williams or Marvin Harrison Jr. But time will tell. We shall see. And go Chicago. Whatever's left.
I already resorted to bandwagoning.
Oh, so me too.
I'm sweet. Yeah, it's healthy for you. It's good for your mental health.
It's good nutrients.
Oh yeah,
that's good. It's good nutrients.
Yeah, because you can just hop from team to team. You don't have to be a full-fledged bandwagon where you stalk them every time. But it's just healthy rooting for another team. It's fun.
Exactly. Yep.
Even if you're not really out about it, it's just cool to do it. Yeah, we just hit an hour. We've got a lot to think about, and we've got a lot to talk about. The IrRashonal Sports Talk Show is on from 2 to 3 on Thursdays, 2 to 3 p.m. Technically, we're still not able to go live on Facebook, which is why you're probably watching this either on YouTube or as a recording on Facebook. So once we get that figured out, I'll be able to actually go live. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's why this isn't the full production yet, but we'll get there.
I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
And listening to us.
Luke might be getting his own show soon.
I hope so. I'll try. I'll be on here featured every once in a while.
Yes, sir.
I'll be probably one of the main guests. I'll pop up here and there in episodes if I'm needed. Or if I got something to talk about, I will let you guys know. Thank you for having me, Matthew. First episode, it was really good to talk about all the sports in Chicago, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate our tech guy just watching and sitting there.
Our tech guy holding a gun to our heads literally the whole time,
and shooting us, but it's okay. We appreciate him. He's got a good camera, good lighting. Thank you, sir, for helping us and recording this. Thank you. Thank you. And for reassurance. Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah. Twitter is IrRashonal Sports. YouTube is IrRashonal Sports. What?
IRS. Oh, yeah.
IRS. We're the IRS. That's
the
what we
good
do.
IRS.
The good IRS.
Yep.
IrRashonal Sports. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter. That's all I have right now. Chicagoland Sports Radio.com. This has been the IrRashonal Sports Talk Show. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.